the new heaven and new earth. Here, the Bible quietly corrects one of our biggest assumptions, because Scripture does not end with humanity escaping earth. It ends with heaven coming down. John tells us exactly what he sees. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, and I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man." Revelation 21, 1-3. That's the direction of the story. Not souls going up, not creation being abandoned. God comes to dwell with his people. Heaven doesn't replace earth, it renews it. This is why Paul says creation itself is waiting, almost straining, for what comes next. The creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed, that it will be liberated from its bondage to decay. Romans 8, 19-21. Notice what creation is waiting for. Not destruction, not escape, restoration. The Bible does not picture the future as floating spirits on clouds. It pictures resurrection, embodied, renewed, physical life in a healed world. Jesus' resurrection sets the pattern. He eats, he walks, he speaks, he is recognizable and transformed. Eternity is not less real than this world, it's more. This means heaven is not the rejection of creation, it's the completion of it. Everything broken is restored. Everything divided is reunited. Everything corrupted is made whole. That's why Revelation doesn't end with us leaving earth behind. It ends with God saying, "Behold, I am making all things new." Revelation 21:5. Not all new things, all things. And once you see that, heaven stops being an escape plan. It becomes a promise that the world matters, that bodies matter, that justice matters, and that what God started in creation, he intends to finish, not by abandoning it, but by dwelling within it forever. Before we end, the Bible does something wise. It clears away the pictures we've picked up that don't actually come from Scripture, because heaven is not endless clouds and harp music, it's not disembodied spirits drifting forever, and it's not private mansions floating somewhere above the universe. Those images come more from art and imagination than from the Bible itself. When Scripture wants to show us what eternity looks like, it doesn't point us to fantasy. It points us to Jesus' resurrection. Paul says it plainly. If there is a natural body, there is also a spiritual body. 1 Corinthians 15:44. Spiritual does not mean non-physical. It means transformed. Jesus rises with a body. He eats, he speaks, he bears scars, and Paul says that resurrection is not the exception, it's the pattern, which means eternity is not floating away from creation. It's life fully restored. And that leads to a question people often ask next. If heaven is this real, why doesn't the Bible give us more details? The answer is intentional restraint. Paul, who says he was caught up to the third heaven, refuses to describe it. 2 Corinthians 12:4. Jesus teaches about heaven mostly in parables, not blueprints. Revelation uses symbols so dense they resist being turned into diagrams. Why? Because Scripture is guarding us from turning heaven into an object of curiosity instead of a source of hope. As Deuteronomy says, "The secret things belong to the Lord our God, but the things revealed belong to us." Deuteronomy 29:29. Too much detail would invite speculation. Speculation turns into obsession, and obsession quietly replaces trust. So the Bible tells us enough, but never everything. And here's where it all comes together. Heaven, according to Scripture, is not an escape plan. It's not about abandoning the world, it's about God's rule being complete. The promise of heaven isn't that we get away from brokenness, it's that God doesn't give up on what he made. Heaven isn't where we hide from the world, it's where God finishes redeeming it. And once you see that, heaven stops being distant and abstract. It becomes a call to live faithfully now, because the future God promised is already moving toward us. So, take a moment with this. If heaven isn't an escape from the world, but God's promise to restore it, then the way we live now actually matters. If this changed how you think about heaven or gave language to something you felt but couldn't explain, share this with someone who's been wondering the same thing. And if you want more Bible-grounded, no speculation explanations like this, subscribe and stay with us. Because heaven isn't the end of the story, it's the moment God makes everything whole.